Once only seen in science fiction or dropping Judy and Elroy off at school, flying cars and air taxis will soon be a reality. With over 70 advanced air mobility, or AAM, concepts in development. Electrical vertical takeoff and landing, or eVTOL vehicles, could reduce traffic congestion and improve mobility options, particularly in dense urban environments. However, the Congress and FAA must consider infrastructure, how new entrants will be integrated into an already busy U.S. airspace, and impacts on local communities.
In the LA region, only a quarter of jobs are accessible within 90 minutes to people using public transit. AAM could offer a solution, but only if we build affordability both into the private and public sector planning around this technology. So it needs to be safe, zero emissions, and low noise. We'll meet that standard, industry experts say, and be safer and cleaner than driving a car and quieter than a helicopter. And while there's no shortage of room in the air for AAM, there are far fewer spots available for takeoff and landing. So as we build out the infrastructure, we don't need to just think about the sky, but the buildings and the vertiports, and connect density and better connections to walking, cycling, and transit where those vertiports are. LA is already engaging Angelenos in our plans for AAM infrastructure because we want the public to be the co-authors of this. I'm proud that LA and our sister cities are leading on AAM, but we need your help at the federal level. Last, we need funding to plan for and connect AAM infrastructure into our existing and future transportation networks. At its core, infrastructure isn't about a single mode of transportation. It's about innovation and jobs and human beings. It's about connecting communities. Whether it's AAM or encouraging more Americans to walk, ride, or take public transit, we have the tools to forge the next generation of transportation. LA, with cities around the world, is trying to develop this standard when it comes to AAM, and we simply need your partnership to arrive at that destination together. Thank you all so much. I look forward to our discussion.
Follow-up, Mayor Garcetti, how are you thinking about equitable access for residents using AAM?
Well, you know, we've developed something called Principles of the Urban Sky, or the other POTUS, as I call it. But Principles of the Urban Sky really looks at the ways that we can make sure that whatever we do in Los Angeles, that we have a public process to kind of co-author that we look at the links with our public transit system so that it's seen as connecting to a system rather than existing above it, and making sure that there are kind of the stakeholders from underrepresented communities, lower income communities, commuter communities that often, you know, have been bypassed when it comes to cutting edge technology. They should be the first to benefit, as well as folks of other communities. I think for all of us, it would be welcome to see that sort of investment. We can't take for granted that it will just happen. I think the best of public-private partnerships are the public funding to see this research be accelerated, and then the private sector to spin it off, as we've seen in this country from everything from the internet to the aerospace breakthroughs we've made in the past.
I'd also like to ask Mayor Garcetti or anybody about the interconnectivity and regionally. You know, we are not nearly so connected in the Southwest as they are in the Northeast. And part of that's geography, part of it's demographic patterns, part of it is people just like to get in their car out here and drive wherever they want to go. But as we develop this kind of aircraft, how are we looking at regional approaches? So you can start in Los Angeles and come and see me in Las Vegas, and you won't run into different kinds of regulations or barriers to getting here.
Well, I'll jump in because whether it's high-speed rail or the highway that we're constantly trying to improve between our cities, we essentially are part of one state and two states. You know, we have more in common sometimes than we do with folks who are quote unquote in our state than with each other. Seleta, do you want to address that a little bit? Because we're talking about regional work and making sure with rural and urban areas we can develop these standards and create that. So let me toss that over to Seleta for a couple of words, if you don't mind.
In order to make sure that we retain our ability to sort of have the community voice heard and control our destiny, we have to collaborate and get together. So we've been working very closely with different organizations like CAMI and others to try and exercise that convening power of government, to think about a golden triangle of aviation that is, you know, connects Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Phoenix, and how we can all sort of grow together and come up with that policy framework that can be used broadly, because you're right, the potential for regional interconnectivity is tremendous. I think one of the things that we can't walk past, though, is the needs for the municipal power grids. You know, an airplane needs to be able to recharge in Los Angeles or recharge in Las Vegas, and our municipal grids, to your question about infrastructure, really need shoring up to enable that future. So whether it's infrastructure or it's, you know, questions about land use, I think there's a powerful role for local voices to play.